G'day legends, TJC Sports here. Welcome back to another legendary NRL live stream reaction here. Today we're reacting to the Raiders versus the Dolphins. So apologetic for not getting to you on the Sunday, legends. Genuinely sorry for that. TJC was not in a high point. You can cop it out as what happened with the Melbourne game. But overall, I think just a lot of stress has got to him. But he's feeling better than ever and he's so excited to be up with this, mate. Origin right around the corner. Why not enjoy a bit of a shortened rugby league round day? We open up on Thursday with Raiders Dolphins. Tomorrow we got Dog Storm. Saturday you get 2 streams. That's the most you're going to get this week, unfortunately, with the Dragons and Warriors and Manly and Titans. Good luck to Warriors, Mel. Hope they win. And last on Sunday, you'll have Cowboys and the Bunnies. But for now, we got this one. And if you've watched the predictions video, you would know, have tipped the Canberra Raiders to get the result here. Origin impacted, of course, legends. Let's say hello to the chat first, though, because you guys are the reason that I can do what I do, right? So might as well give you a amazing bit of shout out here. Hello to Rugby Fella who says first, Tyler State Origin is on next Wednesday. Can't wait. Oh, mate, I can't wait either. Mate, I'm as hyped as can be, bro. State of Origin, the pinnacle of it all, eh? Plenty of players out on this one. Jesus, looking at that. Canberra 13 plus, sends Shane J. Hey, what do you make of Queensland, New South Wales? I make of Queensland is Queensland, bro. That's what I make of them. And the Bluesers, well, they're just always going to be the Bluesers. We'll talk more in depth about Origin during halftime and throughout the stream itself. So many comments to get through here. Apologies, legends. Also, go you Bluesers. I'm going to say Shane J. Hey. I'm going to say go you Bluesers. Up the wires, Broncos have it in the backyard. Oh, Mel, what an epic result that was for the Warriors. I had to watch the highlights, unfortunately, but what a result. Angus says, what's up? What's up, Angus? NRL Vegas 2027, Eels versus Titans. Oh, bro, I'm over the moon about that one. I can't believe it. Mate, I knew we'd go to Vegas, but taking on the Titans, that's good. That's good, mate. I think if you're going to make that game interesting for neutrals, being Titans and Eels is a great way to do it here. GG TJC says Rugby Fella. GG Rugby Fella, mate. GG, mate. Good game. I think actually trash game from both of us, but Storm less trash. So Dolphins won the 12th first try scorer, a man next year, Jermaine Asako. Rugby Fella dropping in with the prediction there. Speaking of which, I should do a prediction for this game. I'm going for first try scorer to be Jermaine Asako, like our boy Rugby Fella here, because you can never question Rugby Fella's ingenious tips. And anytime for Raiders will... Anytime for Raiders and Dolphins. Raiders is anytime is going to be, you know what? I think Savage is going to go over in this one. And not just that, I think that we're going to get an anytime try from the youngest ever Dolphin, legends. That's right. The youngest ever Dolphin, the 18-year-old debutant, Brian Paneo. I'm calling it now. He's going to get a big try in this one here. I was 8 out of 8 last week. I tipped the Cowboys. Let's go. Congratulations, Rugby Fella. I was 6 out of 8 because I backed my team and I backed Roosters too. Jason Reeder says, evening legends, Dolphins 1-12 in this one here. Big call saying Dolphins to win this one. I'm not saying Dolphins can't win this one, but we got a lot of players out due to Origin. For you legends that want to go TJC, who are these players that are out due to Origin? I've got you. Ethan Strange and Simi Sung are out for different reasons. They're not out due to Origin, but who is out due to Origin? Hudson Young for the Canberra Raiders, a big forward out for them. The Dolphins, on the other hand, though, they make it look easy what the Raiders have been dealt with. Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, Cody Nikorima, Max Plath, Selwyn Cobbo, and Thomas Flegler all out due to Queensland. But on top of that, Cody Nikorima is, of course, out as well. And it doesn't end there because that's all we knew till right before this game kicked off. Guess who's a very late out? Herbie Farnworth, legends. That's right. Herbie Farnworth, a late out for the Dolphins. They will not have the Farnsworth in this one. The Queenslander at heart, he is simply not playing tonight. Extremely unfortunate for the Dolphins here. They've essentially had over half their team ripped from them in this one tonight. Billy Slater picked Kalen Ponga, not Reece Walsh. Yeah, he picked KP, mate. Well, if he thinks Kalen Ponga is the better choice, at the end of the day, back in the day, what would they do? They wouldn't pick 2 players in the same position in different spots. They'd pick the best player, and they're the one that got selected. Kalen Ponga, at the moment, so many would argue, is in the better form. So Kalen Ponga gets the spot. I respect Billy for it, and I look forward to seeing exactly how it goes for KP. He's proven himself on the Origin arena that he can do a good job. Breaking news, Seb Crass ruled out due to quad injury. Yeah, now we got another crazy... Apparently, we've got another crazy bit of news according to Rugby Fella. Sebastian Chris may be laid out as well. This game might be the king of injuries and players being called up to Origin. I don't think any game is going to have us talking this heavily. I think the Dolphins, they said, are in the top 2 when it comes to most Origin-impacted teams. Absolutely insane to think about, considering they're such a young club that's never played Origin. I mean, never played finals. Of course they haven't played Origin. That's never played finals. Up the Maroons next week. Oh, mate, Jason Reader, we're going to be covering that so heavily on the channel. We've got a prediction video coming for you the day before about it. And then the day after, you're going to get not only the men's state of Origin. The men's state of Origin happens, right? So I'll line it up for you. So Wednesday, the game goes. Tuesday, you get a predictions video. Then after that, on the Thursday, you get the girls' game free and also the round predictions for the next round. So you guys are spoilt for choice with what to watch on the channel in the coming days ahead, as well as the stream for the rest of the next few days. So you guys shouldn't be going... The only day you're not going to be going to bed knowing you've got a new TJC piece of content to look forward to is going to be Monday. And who cares? Nobody likes Monday. Nobody likes it unless you know you got to buy. And even then, it's boring if you like watching your team. Yeah, Harley, we play in Vegas. I look forward to it. Yeah, I heard about it, Liam. Was gonna try and was gonna try and wait a little bit before talking about it because it's the kind of thing that can take over, that can become a topic for a very long while because there's so much to say about it. But yeah, it did. Legends, for those of you who don't know, of course, Jai Arrow medically retires age 30 after being diagnosed with MND. Terrible, terrible thing to be diagnosed with, by the way. Generally, people who are diagnosed with such a condition only live 2 to 3 years, with just 10% living past the next decade. You know, I send my best wishes out to the Jai family during this time. I try not to... I out of respect for him and his family, I'll try not to, bring Ara into things about the... unless necessary. But one thing I will say is that I can only imagine what he's going through. He was always a bit of a gem of a player to me. I always enjoyed watching him play, and this is more than a game with this thing here. This is a life we're talking about, and ultimately, I wish nothing but the best for Jai. Jai July, get behind it, legends. Prayers with him. Looking forward to the Roosters vs Storm next week, says Jason Ritter. Yeah, Roosters vs Storm, mate, gonna be legendary. Of course, one of the best games that are always Storm and Roosters, but who knows with the current iffy form of the Storm if the Roosters will let it be a good game. I think they will, but you never truly know, do you? You just simply do not know, legends. Where's Queen Julian, says Mels. Queen Julian is sleeping. Queen Julian only shows up when their team's doing well, which is why they're not our type of supporter, eh, legends? Because we're fans who show up through the thick and thin, baby! No pun intended to the finnies. Let's get on with a great first half, legends, eh? I'm going to put my headphones down for a second, put the sunnies on properly, and lock in here for this one. I tipped the Raiders. Let's see how well my opening to my tipping week pops off here, legends. It is Canberra versus Dolphins to kick off round 12 of 2026. State of Origin impacted. The countdown continues. 6 days to go. 6 plays to be had in this first set for the Dolphins. First half, Jermaine Asako passes short to the left with Felice Kafusi. And Kafusi, you'll all know him from his time at the Storm. Absolute iconic player there. Kafusi going down to the ground now. Solid player. Now through the middle here, Finifawaki with it. I still don't know how he missed out on a Queensland jersey. Somebody ring up Billy and question it. It's all good in Billy we trust, but seriously. Brad Schneider through the middle, showing a bit of his inner Mr. Max Plaffer, or Psycho Plaff, as we love to call him on the channel. Shout out to Jetty Kid. And now back through the middle on 5th tackle. Isaiah Catel's got a lot of pressure on himself, but he gets this one, and down it goes here, over to the 20 ball. Canberra Raiders with the first take now. Up the Kiwi Landers, legend. Up the Kiwi Landers, Mel. Up the Kiwi Landers. Played over. Here we go. Finuwaki working well with Molo through the middle now. To hold them out here. Corey Horsburgh, another player unlucky to be playing for Queensland. I wouldn't have put money on Corey or our boy Finuwaki being in the teams for this week's games. And it's 6 again for the Canberra Raiders. Oh, lucky days. Oh, luckiest of days for them. It's kind of interesting with this late change. I don't know how often I've seen. It seems like they've got Savage playing in the centres, legends. Doesn't seem to be the biggest use of his speed, but, I mean, it uses some other elements of his game that he kind of gets wasted out on the wing with, right? You know, of course, with that late change, you know, Jed Stewart and Savage, the changes into it. Tamale Tomoko largely unchanged through the middle and breaking through the line. It's Jed Stewart. What a play from Dave Laurie, and the Raiders will lead. The milk has been poured. It ain't soured yet. The lid has been poured open, and it's not off for this one. It's got off in the best possible way. The freshest of fresh. You'd think it came straight from the utter. And it's 4-0 to the bad and mean Green Machine. Fearsome men from the ACT for a reason. The coach's son with a try to make the Dolphins defense look like buns. Dane Laurie, though, deserves so much. Here we go, legends. All right. Dane Laurie deserves so much credit, though, for that one. For his play there through the middle. Yeah, you celebrate, you milk carton in the crowd. There's a milk carton in the crowd, by the way, legends. Up you go, Ricky. Laurie deserves so much credit for that one. The way he took on the defense. Not every half in our game is currently doing that. But it's the difference between the best and the worst when they have the bravery to make plays like that. And you could even argue the Dolphins didn't even do that bad defensively. They just did not read it. And Canberra from in front now to make it 6. One of the great players to have gone away, Ethan Sanders, legend. He gets it. From right in front here, it is now 6-0 to the Canberra Raiders. The Green Machine has never looked higher at the opening of a game. Mel's with the thumbs down. She's not happy with it. Yeah, Liam, Tyler lost to Storm last week. I know, man. But, hey, you know, Melbourne should be beating Power, right? I mean, with the strength, they should be. It shouldn't be a brag. Also, they did a lot worse than they did week 1, didn't they? A lot worse. They should have done way better against us. And we carry on again here, legends. Utter excitement here down at Canberra Stadium. Horsburgh, the big ringer with the hit in. All good rugby fella, mate. Good to have you here nonetheless, even with the internet issues, bro. I understand that plenty of people will get internet issues throughout the streams. Always welcome to take your time in getting back, guys. So unfortunate for Sebastian Chris. Trained really well this week. There wasn't too many signs, apparently, behind the scenes of any injury. And then suddenly it's just too much during the warm-up. Corey Horsburgh, the big red, runs into a sea of red there. He looked to split the sea, could only get to the 40. Background right here. Okay, here come the Raiders. Wise hammered storms for you, legend. Thank you. Thank you. Please do it. Please. Thank you. I appreciate that you did it for me, all right? Hopefully another team does it for me soon. Dolphins allow it to bounce here. And Jermaine Asako, the boy from Christchurch, held on the 15 now here. Only 6 points. And what we've learnt this season from PVL ball is that the 6 points means nothing. It's pretty much about as worthless as picking up a chip and not eating the chip. The chip's still there, and somebody could easily snag it out of your hand. Schneider on the back here, through the right here. Schneider, what a play. Brad Schneider keeps on going now. Tyler, are you going to Las Vegas to see the Eels play? We'll have to wait and see on that, Liam. I'm not going to confirm nor deny that. What I will say about Vegas is that if I can, I will be there. If I can't, I can't. It's a very expensive trip, but the effort's definitely there for it. And okay, it goes out of play here, the bounce. But luckily for Dolphins, it was in place. So it will be the Raiders' ball here. Let's watch it. Katoa. Yeah. Hits the ground, goes straight out there. Honestly, for such a beautiful kick, you didn't expect it to bounce the way it did. And now Timoko into the line. Shout out to Owen Patty getting the start tonight, legends. Great stuff for him. Of course, Owen, he got a little unlucky with the signing of Jaden Brayley last year. Broke himself out into the team, but ultimately with free hookers, only one could make the side. He ended up losing his spot. Tom Starling, Brayley, the preferred pairing. Brayley, though, speaking of which, with an early kick here, it gets to the 30, but it's not going to reach 20 before. And now the Dolphins with the ball, but he could get taken out of play. Not enough in it from the Canberra Raiders. Speaking of Jaden Brayley, listed as a lock for this game, legends. I never thought I'd see the day that Jaden Brayley would be the 13 for Canberra, at least not from a starting capacity. Maybe from a off-the-bench capacity, but the starting lock, big ideas there from Ricky. Maybe that's the long-term way that you have Brayley in the same team as Owen Patty and Tom Starling. I would love to go to Vegas, but probably not going. Not going. That's all good, rugby fella. You'll have to wait and see. Tomorrow, are you tipping Bulldogs or Storm? I've tipped Storm, Liam, but that game is just dreadful to want to tip because both teams make me feel like throwing up. Weeks through the middle here, looking to split the gates. Felice Kafusi with a good tackle there. Over 233 games of experience for him. And Isaiah Katoa down the middle. One of the youngest ever debutant Dolphins before, of course, tonight's debutant legends that I have already mentioned numerous times throughout the stream. Of course, it is the 18-year-old centre, Brian Padillo. And Jaden Brayley with a dummy here. Of course, his brother picked for the New South Wales Blues. Blake Brayley playing hooker for them. Long overdue for Blake. Congratulations to him, but unfortunately, he's going to be losing to the Maroons. Ooh, awkward kick here from Dolphins. In the air, you can sense a piece of dread there, and out it goes. So there we go. Dolphins with the ball. Run through the middle. First tackle. Jermaine Asako now around. Flips through. Beautiful tackle again here. Jaden Brayley serving well as the lock at the moment here for the Canberra Raiders. A surprisingly nice position change for him here. And another quick tackle from Jaden Brayley. And here's Marshall King. He's no stranger to a good run. Gets it off to Fuller. Fuller through the middle. Tackled by Osborough. Later to Marshall King. To Molo. Molo up with it. And he gets into that defensive line himself. After Mariotto, the wrap-upper. And it's fifth tackle. 9 minutes gone by here. As we have Bostock on the edge. And it's a lost ball by Raiders. Bostock with it. That should be a full set for Dolphins right in front now. This is just what they needed. Viduaki now through the middle. Looks for the try. He can't find it. Brayley with a beautiful tackle on him here. It's 6 more for the Dolphins. Backwards through the middle. Morgan Knowles to Molo. And stepping down onto the ground here. The defense is solid here. But will it be for long? Kafusi. Short pass doesn't work out now. Marshall King for the overlap on the left. Katoa, Schneider, it's a try for the Dolphins. Tavita Napoa with the first. And here we go. Second of the game. He says bye-bye to them trailing. The comeback is on. It is 6-4 with a kick to come now. Fins up, baby, as the fans would say. Game on is what the neutrals would say. And I guess the staff. There you go. And they're already popping the fins in the crowd. They know how wild this is. I think I saw even a Tigers fan jumping. Goodness me. What a moment. Here they come. The red, white, black, beige. Mostly red and white. The Dolphins are on board for this one. And it's a beautiful pass there. I want the former St. Helen to score Morgan Knowles. Oh, you want Morgan Knowlesy to score, bro? Well, I love Morgan Knowles, but I don't know if he's going to be a try scorer in this one, legend. Says Mel in the chat here. We've got the kickers launching out here. Be sure to drop a kicker in the chat, legends. All right, I want to see your best fins up. All right, get behind your tip, legends. Speaking of which, on the poll, 57% of you are Dolphins tippers. So get that Dolphin support going. And to the 29% of you that have tipped Raiders, like myself, I want you guys to be gone for the milk in this. Asako, it curves, posted in. Too simple. Too simple. I thought I was watching Ronaldo take a free kick. And it's 6-6 now. Come on, Dolphins, says Rugby Fella in the chat here. Come on, come on, come on. Honestly, and this is the thing about the Dolphins that everybody, I'm sure, in their predictions videos or comments would have mentioned, is the fact that they are just that team where it doesn't really matter what's going on for them. They are capable of a piece of brilliance. We're still within the first 10 minutes of the game, but both teams showing exactly what they're capable of. I feel like we're going to have to wait until later on in the game to really see who will be the dominant player in this matchup. Vanuaki with the second tackle for the Dolphins now. A short pass over to the left with Kafusi. And Kafusi arms up. He struggles. He swings. His hips don't lie. Down he goes. And now over to the 40. Roundabout here. Horsburgh with a great tackle. I think that Jaden Brayley stayed on the player a bit long. That could have been a penalty or 6 again. The referee says nothing. And they carry on here. Atchigit says hi in the chat here. Hello, legends. Not to flex, but you got a Pepper Fig kind of picture. We have Bostock in the air out of nowhere. And Jack Bostock has a try for the Dolphins. We're starting with no try. I thought it looked a little awkward. And there we go. That's all good, Gus. Good to have you here now. Okay. All right, let's... This is up to the bunker. We just got to check here who plays this. Love the Viking Club. I really want to experience. I've experienced it a couple times now. It's a great experience, legend. Doesn't quite hit the same after you've done it a couple times, but it is special. They're just going to check how Bostock gains possession. Okay, it's play on, legends. I think Bostock has he just said there he got it. I think we've got to try. It's still the last tackle. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's not a knock-on, but his boot touches the touchline. His boot has touched the touchline, legends. And the Dolphins, well, they're only going to have to live with 6 earlier. They don't have the lead yet. And I'm with Mel's here, legends. If you're enjoying the stream so far and want to show your support to TJC without spending money, make sure you hit that like button to the stream, legends, and subscribe if you're new to keep up with this amazing content here on the channel and keep on supporting it to go as big as possible. And now Matthew Tomoko round the right, overrun there. Moses Molo, here we go, pushing him back there. Francis Molo, I mean Moses Molo. Who's... Michael Molo, they get him back. Marshall King. Now the Tarpany here. He's time this year through the middle. Big number 10, so skillful. And here we have Paddy, big kick in the air here to the left. And it's Asako with the ball now. Jermaine Asako forward now, pushing with his legs here. Kick with your feet, they say. Kick with your feet on the paddle boat. He gets to the 20 afloat. And now Bostock here with all the stocks in the world. Played in the Dragons junior system at one point. A player that got away for them there. Oh, poor Dragons. They play the Warriors this week. Dolphins on the third now. Becomes the fourth here. Such a shame for them, all the players that they have, of course, lost throughout the years. Legends. Jackson Ford, who plays for the Wars, one of them. Vanua Blake, Reese Robson, Kurt Mann, Aitken, Saab, Garrick, Duffy. Too many to count, honestly. McInnes. There's a Moses Molo somewhere in the world. There probably is, rugby fella. There probably is a Moses Molo somewhere in the world, but I don't know him. Do you? Arsenal, really? Yes, Bells. Arsenal are Premier League champions. And all I've got to say as a Man United fan is however obnoxious some fans can be, thank God. All right? Thank God it's not City or Liverpool again. If it had to be somebody, I'm glad it's someone new. Credit to Arsenal where it's due, mate. Bravo. Zach Hosking now on the right here. It becomes fifth tackle now for them. Remember, we only got one stream tomorrow as well, Dogs and Storm. Don't want to miss out on that one. It can be a hate watch for a lot of you viewers. A lot of Dolphins and Raiders. Let it be. Allow it to bounce. Why would you allow that to bounce? Big Red's got the ball and he's down. What was that, Dolphins? That's like hitting the jackpot. He's just bet on black and been given $1 billion. He bet on red, actually. Thank you very much. They bet on all red. All red. Because the new rule should be in Canberra. Always bet on red and not just red. The big red. Off of the replay here. They get no part of it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dolphins defenders all fall down like they're dominoes. Or I guess pawns in a game of chess here. And they've just said checkmate. Their bishop has been caught off guard and the bishop flies across the board for an easy checkmate to win themselves the points. Corey Horsburgh. And if there's one player that you don't want to be sleeping on when he's on the attack, it's Big Red, especially after him being ignored for State of Origin, or at least not ignored, but he didn't make it. He gets to play here. For me personally, Corey Horsburgh should be crucial to the Queenslanders, side, Legends. But instead, he doesn't make it. 10-6 though. I think he was hoping someone would catch it so he could belt them. Instead, he just gets a try. Rugby Fellas' Panthers are not re-signing him unable. Yeah, no Toto, but it's curious where he goes. It'll be curious to see where he goes. Might see Jet Cleary in first grade soon. He's going great. One of the great guns in the cup. Oh, I can't wait for that. I can't wait, Mel, to see Jet Cleary playing in the NRL. I think that's going to be fun for us all in the chat. CHT is going to the Cows, re-signed for another year. Yep, CHT too, sticking around with Waz, of course, Metcalf. Is there any concerns about injuries with Tanner Boyd with the injury he just got, or? Nah, he should be fine. He should be fine, Tanner. Should be fine. Still not great that he got hurt, but happens in rugby league, eh? Happens. You can't really avoid it. Toto to PNG probes. Oh, probably Mel's, and that's going to be it. I'm conflicted with the PNG team because they'll be look. I love the idea of them having a good team, but I also loved the initial spin of them having a lot of PNG rooted players for their opening thing. Boyd is gone for the season, legend. Yeah, I figured, but I was wondering about his future, Mel, after he's gone for the season. Is he is there any concerns there about it, or or are you just gonna I don't know, how long's Martin got? Or are you gonna prep one of your young Huss Hansen or Cleary to potentially be backups for if Tanner does end up having a bit of this problem, kind of like Parra does with Mitchell at times. Because one thing Parra struggled with is not having that backup. You know what I mean? So, I'm just curious because I know a bit, but obviously I'm not going to know as much as a local Warriors fan, right? And on the left through the middle now, the Dolphins for the season. Tamari will be our 7 back next till Boyd backs. Good to see, Mel. Good to see. 123 Dolphins players missed the ball. Oh, mate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think almost the whole team missed it, legend. Not sure whether... So, Martin, is he contracted next year, Mel? On the halfway. Campbell by cap this week, says Rugby Fella. Here we go, down to the left here. The far with a kick. He's allowing it to bounce here. He refuses to stop. He keeps on going here. And it'll be safe here. The Raiders with the dropout now. Great pressure from the ball. I'll probably plays at some stage, but Martin this week. Good to see. Good to see, Mels. I've still got Cleary, by the way. Me too, Rugby Fella. Me too. Me too. The Dolphins doing well with their offloads at the moment. Fun fact, the player they're missing tonight, Herbie Farnworth, is actually the leading offloader in the comp with 14 at the moment. So for them to be able to do it without him is a big thing. Georgia loves his hi, TJC. Hi, George. Hoping he will re-sign only CHT signed today. Hopefully he does, Mel, and then you have a great bunch of players to rotate between here. Awesome, George. Poor Jai Arrow. All our hearts are with Jai. Legend, I've nearly cried a few times just thinking about it. I can't imagine how hard it is for him. Katoa to Bostock now. Through the right here. I'll stock up with it here. His arms are up. He's going flip, 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 Gillette. Yeah, that's a good re-signing for you, Rugby Fella Clarkey. Knowles on for the middle here. Zach Hosking with good defense. There's plenty of openings on the left here. Katoa sees it now. The Raiders touch that. That could be a set for the Dolphins coming up. And there you go. Interesting for Andrew Johns here, saying that when you're a halfback, imagine it like an invisible line that no one else can see. When you go in too early or too late, that invisible line's past you. Isaiah Katoa here, he says, he saw the line there, and he's such a young prospect. Honestly, credit there to Johns. He does know his rugby league when it comes to how it feels to play, doesn't he? Schneider now. Interesting pass to the right here. Asako! The step back here, Jermaine Asako stopped. Right against the line now. It's a full set, remember that. 20 minutes on the clock still, Legends, for the first half alone here. Pinuaki, down he goes on the line. So much pressure with it here, guys. Molo now on his back on the try line. Couldn't quite get there. First receiver, Knowles. Over to Katoa. It's touched by Raiders. Another knock on here. Mel in the chat. Continuing on with our wise conversation before, just saying as it's a full set again for the Dolphins. We have Jack Hansen, Tamari, CHT. We are stacked for halves. True that, Mel. True that. Fair enough then. You don't really have to stress too much, do you? Though you'd rather Tanner stay fit. Through the middle now, looks for the offload, and our king has scored! Morgan Knowles has a try for the Dolphins! He's looking finny and he knows it. I'm finny and I know it. The Dolphins put the fins up. The Raiders milk has been soured a little. They've spiked it with something. 12-10 now with the kick to come from right in front we surely have ourselves an all-square affair, and what a first half this has been. Kafusi offloading to our boy, Morgan Knowles. And for you legends saying, who? You casual fans? How dare you? Morgan Knowles, the only English player that impressed me during the Ashes. He played 11 tests for England, legends. Of course, 4 for Wales before then, but we don't talk about that, where he actually got a try for Wales, unlike England as of yet. But also 246 games for St. Helens, where he got 38 tries. He's had a long-standing career, the 29-year-old. 2015, it started with 11 years ago. That's right. His career was 11 years old. In his 10th game tonight for the Dolphins, in his first season, he's got himself a try. And guess who? What else, legends? Jermaine Asako has got himself a 2-pointer. And now it is 12 all, legends. Game on, baby. Game on. Whoop, whoop. Let's get the headphones back on for this all-square affair. Under 20 to go now. Who did you tip for Dogs in Melbourne? I tipped Melbourne, Angus, but I don't think it's an easy tip to be made, legend. I just think the Dogs have been so dreadful and at least Storm have been looking like improvement. I understand the Storm are missing a few players, but I prefer the players they're bringing in over how the Dogs are currently keeping their team. Keen to see how Russell Smith tomorrow. Very keen rugby fella. Think Boyd has signed till 28-29, I thought. Yeah, hopefully he stays fit, Mel, and continues to be a great addition to your team, eh? We kick off again here at 12 all, legends. The Dolphins, Katoa with that thin line pass. I can see the line now that Andrew Johns has pointed it out. Over to Pinawaki through the middle here, looking to show exactly what he should have been in a Queensland jersey and could still be in a Queensland jersey if something ends up happening. Now to the left, Morgan Knowles, the try scorer, with a pass here. He wants another as he gets it off to his second rower. And while they're playing the ball, 4th tackle, it's an early kick here over to the 20 with speed. But Savage and Weeks link up nicely to communicate there. And it's going to be Weeks running into the line now. What about Dragons and Wires? I went with the Wires, but honestly, I get this feeling the Dragons are going to make it close. And oh, hello, sunshine. It's a big hit, legends. I believe it was Miss Rodrigo that said 1 kiss is all it takes. Well, in rugby league, the only thing it takes is 1 big hit, and that's what we got there. And now it's Marshall King to Knowles through the middle. We still have Low Warbricks, Hughes, etc. Exactly, rugby fella, exactly. Back in the day, I actually did, George, crazily enough. I did play Plants vs. Zombies 1 and 2, as well as most of the mobile apps. Back through the middle. That was an era, though. Anybody remember the Angry Birds era? That was a thing, too. It goes close there. Marshall King nearly breaks through the line. Katoa, Bostock, Asako, back yourself on the edge. He does! Jermaine Asako! The boy from Christchurch, New Zealand, coming in at just 5'11", weighing 95 kilograms. With 171 NRL games experience shared across every Queensland team except the Cowboys. In his 83rd matchup today, I believe he's in at least the top 2 all-time Dolphins appearance holders, though that'll change in a few years. Flies on over with a 4-pointer tonight. And what insane form he has been in. Didn't really get one versus... I believe that he missed out on a try versus the Buddies. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'd be surprised if he got one there. I do not remember it. But he gets one here. Try number 1 for the number 2 tonight. What about the Cowboys versus the Buddies? I've got a predictions... I can't remember them all, legend, but I do have a predictions video on the channel there for anyone to watch that probably, if you skip through it, has... not that you have to, because I prefer you not, but if you want to really just know, you can always skip through that, and that'll probably provide you all the information you want to know. Jermaine Asako now from the sideline. He just wants to put this one in here. We've still got 14 and a half minutes, Legends, on the clock in just the first half alone, and then also a second half to look forward to as well. Cows for me, but not convinced. I don't think we can be convinced about either team winning that one there. I think it's really just down to who you've got a gut feeling about, right? Hisako, just swing it in. No, that's not going in. No. No lick up the licorice for him. Jermaine Hisako. He'll be carrying on here. And while they've got themselves a try, it won't be a 6-pointer on the board for them, Legends. So, 16-12. That's all we're going to have for now. But Dolphins with the lead. So far, it's 0 for TJC. He did tip the Raiders here. Dolphins switch back on. And honestly, you could argue that the Dolphins should be leading by 2 tries, considering that awful piece of defense that led to the Horsburgh try for the Raiders. And now we kick through the Raiders. And Sevilio Tamale for the Raiders. He's having a horror night tonight, allowing all those points to be put in. It would be more if Bostock's try stood. Luckily for him, Bostock did not lift his legs quick enough. Back through the middle now with Molo. Molo goes solo into the line, and Molo will take it on down now. Marshall King with beautiful service now. He's known for his runs, but his service too. Rugby fella, it was me the week before. Now it's you. Somebody will be getting an 8 out of 8 this week. That isn't us. It's been a good game from Morgan Knowles. Typically, when an English player leaves from anywhere in Super League, they go to Raiders. He ignored it, went to the Dolphins, and it's been pretty well for him so far, though I have no doubt he could have done something at Raiders. And we keep pushing. And Atta Mariota. Big through the middle there. Reminds me a bit of Big Reg. Taking on it now. The Raiders and the Dolphins, 2 teams that when fully fit, they can be hot or cold. But one thing you do know is that when they are hot, they are hot. I think Finns play finals. I think so too, Mel. I think Finns probably play finals too. A big kick over to the left now. And just in front of the 10, it's collected by the Dolphins. Trey Fuller, in he goes. Doesn't surprise me one bit. I don't think it would surprise a lot of people if the Dragons beat the Wars when that game comes up. What's the margin for both teams? 4 points at the moment, Yawaze. At the moment, 4 points. 4 points the difference between the 2 teams. The Dolphins round the left here. It's Gilbert with the ball. He's there to help replace the starting props here. Of course, Flegler out. He's in Origin camp. The Dolphins are probably the biggest victims of Origin with this one, aren't they? Katoa kicking towards Tamale here. Through the right here. And the Dolphins, Tamale, he's not held yet. The ref says held. Go back. Got that wrong then. But yeah, Selwyn Cobbo, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, Thomas Flegler, and Max Plath Legends all out for the Dolphins. And you could argue that Fidoaki should have been out too, but luckily for them, he is only on the very extended bench. Though if any injuries happen, he's likely to jump in. Yep, in Dolphins' favour, Yawaze. Next to the left here. And there we have it. Trey Fuller here through the right, past the 20 they go now. I get why we're outside of Storm Strong League. You should try the Bullfrogs again tomorrow. You should try the Bullfrogs tomorrow. I don't know what you're saying there, Legend. I'm trying to get it. Storm League, you should try the Bullfrogs again tomorrow. All right, mate. Yeah. Jacko got robbed. He deserved to play Origin. Oh, he did, Jacko Ford. I don't know how he can get it. I don't understand at all how Jackson Ford didn't get it for Blues. Like, I'm not complaining, but I want Blues to play their best lineup, and their best lineup has Ford in it.
Katoa with a big kick to the right now. Dolphins and Raiders. Tamale, and poor Tamale. He's forced into the end goal here. A dropout's coming out. Shot knock on here. And the Canberra Raiders now continue their defensive efforts here. The Dolphins firmly cementing themselves, and they're one of the best teams when they keep that attacking threat up. The problem is how often they lose it. I don't think anyone can really understand it except for, I guess, Laurie, right? I don't get it at all, personally. I think it makes no sense, but he understands it. And if only he understands it, only he understands it. Which of these three teams was the best? Arsenal's Invincibles, Chelsea under Mourinho first spell, or Pep's Barcelona? Pep. I think I prefer Pep's Barca, but look, the Invincibles were incredible, but you know, if you look at the Arsenal Invincibles, right? What's their total? I've done this research before. Yeah, 90 points. Like, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. But there's a few league titles the last few years that they wouldn't even win with that. Like, that's the crazy thing. I think to go completely undefeated is remarkable. I think it's arguably the greatest Premier League feat. But I just think when it came to when they were at their absolute best on their day, Pep Barca was another level. But I ultimately think it's like comparing your favorite cheese to your second favorite meal. You know, your favorite meal to your second favorite meal. Ultimately, they're both meals where if you were at the end of it all, you'd say, I want these things to eat, right? Like, at the end of the day, they're both great. Isaiah Katoa through the middle here. Commentators also, Jose's first Chelsea's you need to give some credit to, but Kurt Donahue with a low kick here, and out it goes. For me, I'm probably subconsciously being a bit unfair to Jose's Chelsea because of my because of the Man United whole thing, but that's probably my opinion. It's, they're three greats for a reason. I was so surprised when Victor Radley got selected for New South Wales. He's always been in the talk for it, but it was a bit surprising this year. But it makes sense to why he escaped suspension now, doesn't it? These are slippery conditions for the Raiders. Tom Starling officially on the field, Legends. Gets the pass off here. It's a knock on there from Canberra. A sly kick from Ethan Santos. And out of play it goes. Who watched my Wire Smash Bronx again? I did. And it was amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Loved every second, actually, Legend. Every second. And so the Dolphins on the 40 now. With the pressure here. Of course, Tom Starling, he's faced plenty of uncertainty in his career. One moment we won't talk about, but also, when the lock tonight, Jaden Brayley, of course, brother of, the Blues, Blake Brayley, got that named. Owen Patty, unfortunately, and him had a tough go ahead for them, didn't they, at the middle of last season about whether they'd keep their spots. He's lived up to it, though, and I've jinxed him! I've jinxed him, Legends! I'm talking about how great they are, and I jinx them. A short pass through, gets it over to Ray Stone. And he ray traces the stone through and scores a try on the ground. There you go, another one for the Dolphins. It's a great assist from Dolphins, number 11. Give me a drum roll, please. Canele Lemuele. And the Finns have come to the party. Of course, Ray Stone, forever an icon in Parramatta, took himself out for an entire season just so he could score a winner against the Melbourne Storm. What a hard hitter he is. You start to question how he's even alive with the plays that he makes. John who says, yes, legend, you jinx them. G'day, legend. G'day, mate, John. Good to have you here, mate. You jinx them. The commentator's curse. I am the commentator's curse. I'm the definition of the commentator's curse. They don't get more commentator's cursey than myself. I am, like, if you looked up in the definition books, all right, the dictionary, what is a commentator's curse? You would find my face plastered on it with this moment right here. Kia ora, legend. I don't get why Trent Lowry and our squad coming back from a Storm fan. I was surprised too, rugby fella, but I also think that Storm have been a bit harsh on him. I don't think he's been in the best of form, but he'll probably go up another level for Queensland. He doesn't really offer much. For me, he'd have to be starting. I think if he's in the squad, he has to start, and then the impact comes from Carrigan and who they've actually named in the lock position, legends, which is I don't fully agree with the decision, but Max Plath. For me, Plath should be the 14, but we don't question Billy, and Billy we trust, legend. And now Ray Stone, he completely loses that. Ray Stone has completely lost that ball. Wait. Ray Stone shouts it's been raked. The commentators have actually said they've spotted this too as a rake. It'll be up to the replay whether this is called a rake. If it's a rake, it's a penalty for the Dolphins. He rakes it. I do think Tom Staley rakes it. I do think... I think Jaden Brayley... They just said... Jaden Brayley's hand is the one I'd be looking at, not Starling's. I think Brayley's hand's the one you'd have to look at if you were to call it. Scoops the ball. They've called it stripping action, legends. And the challenge will be deemed successful. Penalty for the Finns, legends. The Finns are up. And there's still 5 minutes to go in this first half. Can you believe it? And if the Dolphins get a number, it's scary signs for the Raiders. Remember, legends, unlike most channels, we do stick around during halftime. So feel free to drop in some comments when we hit halftime about what you want to talk about necessarily, all right? If the fewer we get, the more I just talk about the game itself. But, you know, I'm always open to new questions at halftime. Have a bit of a chill pill as we get over what's been a terrific game of footy. Milwaukee held on the 40. Now to Plath with us. It's a good tackle there on Gilbert now. And it looks like we've got Liam in the chat with a tip saying Para are going to beat the bye. Mate, we're beating the pie. Yeah, we're going to beat a pie, but we're also going to beat the bye by about 50. We've got 6 more tackles, though. And, bad luck for the Dolphins. And that is a let-off there. Beautifully collected by the Raiders. Noah Martin with it. Not Noah Martin, but my brain ain't braiding. My brain ain't braiding, legends. That wasn't Noah Martin. Now through the middle, one more. So they're in a bunch, the Raiders, aren't they, legends? It was Morgan Smithies. Starling Smithies now. Into the line he goes. Morgan down on the ground. And Morgan Smithies will just take the light hit here before going down. And just one man running free into that tackle, driving him back. Joseph Tarpany on the ground now. Tarpany. Such a solid forward. Now to the right. It's a 6 more for Raiders. Hosking now goes flying. Beautiful. Schneider with a big hit now. Starling, line ball play to Brayley. It's almost like two play breakers, and they got a long one. It was risky. Tamale with the ball. He keeps on pushing 35 out. Now he's allowed to keep moving here. He keeps going. 22 meters out from the try line now here. And so Canberra, can they score one in the next 3 minutes? Laurie for Starling, and Savage now through the middle. Snyder over there to put him down here. Just a few meters away. And geez, Jaden Brayley with the tackle. Donahue sees it now. Over to Sanders now. Sanders around. It becomes 5th tackle now for the Raiders. One more left. Asako. Jermaine loses the ball and will just bat it out of play. It was awkward, but he eventually got it out of the back there. And there we have it, legends. The Canberra Raiders, with all the pressure in the world on them here at the moment. And the Dolphins, I'm sure the nerves are real. I'm sure the nerves are really getting them in the feels here. Wait, legends, we're actually got a captain's challenge from the Dolphins. A claim that he was taken out of the contest. So it's Tamale. No, there's no hand to it from the Raiders. The contact from both players is incidental and out it goes. I genuinely think that was a bad call. I think that was a bad challenge from the Dolphins, and it's unsuccessful. I don't know what they were thinking with... Well, I know what they were thinking with that one, but it wasn't smart. It wasn't smart at all, actually. To be honest, both these teams have been consistently playing average footy. They are better than this. True, they're both better than this, but they also... Well, the Raiders don't have much excuse losing Hudson Young, but the Dolphins, they do have an excuse losing over 6 players, legends. Like, that is a bit of an excuse to not be the exact same team, but you are right that they are better than this, but they've got that lead, and all they really need is the result, right, when they've got that many out. Thomas Starling. Now over to Sanders with Hosking. Hosking with it, looking for the pass. Now Starling, they're just going through the middle at the moment. Finds the pass to Dane Laurie. Smithies. Finds it Brayley. Brayley over to Weeks. Tomoko. Tamale. Just stepping through. He's got it. A slashing Raiders try there. Servilio Tamale. As soon as he got that ball, the 21-year-old, born 2004, another player St. George have let go. He only played one game for them in 2024. It is 27th game tonight for the Raiders. Will bag his 13th NRL try. And this is why you love players non-stop trying, right? This is why you love it when they're at their peak, when they don't care. The results, well, they want it, but they're not going to let their gameplay slow down just because somebody says that they've lost it. The Canberra Raiders slot themselves right back into a position of priority in this game here. It is 16-22 with a kick to come. They refuse to fall asleep against the Finns. Tyler, how good was Magic Round last week? Oh, it was great. It was a great legend, I assume. It was great. All right, we're going to wait on the kick now, legends, and then it will be half time here. Let's go at GIO Stadium, or Bruce Stadium, as some of you viewers will want to call it, right? I heard a certain fan get a little too excited there from the Raiders. Not so PG reaction, and they've missed it. That's better, Raiders. I was expecting a close game, and that's what we could be having on our hands here. Depends what happens in that second half here. The Dolphins, they certainly were feeling the pressure towards the end. I mean, that captain's challenge almost felt like a panic play here, and now at halftime, while they have the lead, it's not a solid lead. Halftime, legends. Raiders 16, Dolphins 22, and now it is time for the TJC Sports Halftime Show with your host, TJC Sports. Ba-da-ba-ba-bam. The chill point of the stream, where your boy TJC's just here to chill with you. All right? The game's not going on, so we're not necessarily talking about the game non-stop here. We're just enjoying our time until the next break here, legends. So feel free to drop in with that, all right? And while we're at halftime here, I hope make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream so far. Subscribe if you're new. Drop a question if you want to ask anything. And also, for those of you going, TJC, what's the schedule this week? Well, you can enjoy seeing me stream every game this round from tonight all the way to Sunday. We'll be streaming all the games up till then because Para has the bye. Luckily, Para don't play on the bye until Monday. So luckily, I don't have to stress about that. Para's probably going to beat the bye 50 plus. And then you're going to have a break from me on Monday because I'm sure you Muppets need to take a break from TJC before we do an Origin Game 1 prediction on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we've got Origin Game 1 to stream and react to. Oh my God, you don't want to miss that. What a time to be alive that is. And then on top of that, on the Thursday, you have the NRL Round 13 predictions plus Origin Game 3 of the girls to look forward to. So everything is coming up, TJC Sports and his legends in the next few days to come, legends. I'll catch you tomorrow, legend. Got early appointment up the fins. All good, Mel. Good luck to you up the fins. Good to see Noel score. Oh, absolutely brilliant to see Morgan Noel score. Go back to my Ashes streams, legends. I called it. I said it with Morgan Knowles. I said, is he in the NRL yet? Recently, he'd been announced to sign with the Dolphins. And I went, this guy looks so good, mate. His defensive movements for England versus Australia were really good in the grand scheme of things compared to the rest of his teammates. That guy was a standout, or at least a player that stood out as somebody that you'd want in the team that's dominating side, legends. So for me personally, to see him in rugby league's good to see. It's great to see, actually. It's legendary. And to see him finally get a try for the Dolphins on his 10th NRL game and his 10th game for the Dolphins, brilliant stuff. Just simply brilliant stuff, legend. It doesn't get much better, actually. All banter Blues fans. Oh, of course we're going to be, mate. We're going to be giving all the banter to the Blues throughout it, legend. But that's how Origin goes. I hope there's Blues fans in the comments that give it to me. All right? I hope Blues fans absolutely rip it to me too. That's how you want it, legend, right? That's how Origin should be. All right? If one doesn't give the other something, where's the rivalry there, eh? Big people can get a bit too personal with it, but as long as you're being banterish with it, what's the problem, eh? Was it so good to see Walker play Queensland? It will be so good, Liam. It'll be so good. I'm actually going to get back to that question. I'm actually going to get back to that question in a second, but that's going to be so good, Liam. It's going to be so good, all right? Feel free to keep dropping questions. I'll keep on answering them, legends. I just need a second. All right. We're back, legends. We are so back. Blues fans are complaining about the Origin squid. Like, bruh, look, man, they don't understand this simple thing called trusting your coach until it doesn't work. I understand. I don't rate Laurie Daly even much, but at the end of the day, that's the Blues team that's been named, and you should be supporting that team, Bluesers. Attitudes against it are why you struggle so much mentally. Everyone's okay, South dude. We've spoken about it a few times, Legend, already, but it is messed up. We don't really know what to say other than that. It's anybody seen the suggestions of July since they don't have Try July? I'd love it if the NRL did something for it. It is really messed up. And I say this for if it was any player, not just South Sydney, but was any player. Doesn't matter what you think of any player. But I personally love Jai Arrow, but even if you didn't like Jai Arrow, all right, it's a horrid thing to wish upon anyone. And, I think the entire rugby league community is behind him in that aspect of getting behind anything to support him right now, and respecting his wishes of letting him handle it with his family for now, right? Mad respect to Queensland for welcoming him into the camp, reportedly. Can only imagine the horrid time that he's going through right now. Of course, I can't, this would be like my third time of saying it because I don't really like repeating myself too much for YouTube, but it is devastating. I've watched it all, Souths, dude. I've watched it all. I can only imagine how much it hurts for Souths fans. As somebody who, and people would know this about the channel, much to the dismay or love of others, we always show love to the clubs, to the players. We try to be fair-minded with it all, right? And it just hurts to see that for him. It's not about anyone but Jai right now, and we all send him our prayers and best wishes. And not just because he's a Queenslander. A lot more than that, I don't believe that he has a premiership, but what a career he had. Hopefully that next stage is better than what many are concerned about. Hopefully it's the best possible outcome for him in all things considered. And for me personally, I try to look at Jai Arrow. I'll always try to look at Jai Arrow for. Look, I think we've seen the start of what's going to be an incredible legacy for him, but also I'll always, when I'm talking about Jai's career, I talk about the incredible player that he was. All right. Always focus on a career more than tragedy. A career more than tragedy, I guess, is the way to put it. A boy from Fairfield, New South Wales. He didn't play a small career, 178 games, legends, between Rabbitohs, Titans, and the Broncos. Queensland through and through. He found his home at the Bunnies. Moving on to the next question, but it is gut-wrenching. Rugby fella says prayers for him and surely Queensland will win for him. Mate, let's get behind it, eh? The Maroons to win for Jai Arrow. But of course, this is more than a game, so we don't need to bring footy into it as much. But yeah, play for our boy, right? Our local. What do you think Billy Slater will be saying to Sam Walker next Wednesday night? What do I think Billy Slater will be saying to Sam Walker? I think he'll be saying, mate, keep your eyes on the ball. It's a huge moment. Just take it in. Take it in. Play your game. You've got the best of the best around you pretty much. do the job that nobody expects. Do the job that the Blues don't want. Come on, make it happen. For me personally, Sam Walker was always the first choice in the Queensland position. I hated the ideas of Ponga to the halves. Ponga, fullback or nothing, was always my attitude. And he went fine. He's the fullback. So Ponga got that fullback job and Walsh got dropped. How will you feel about it? I can't go against my word, and my word was that. So all I got to say is, I think it's a huge moment for Sam. You know, of course, he was in or thereabouts with the Queensland squad plenty of times. So he's not exactly new to the camp. He's just finally getting that starting role that he's wanted for so long, right? So this is his opportunity. He kind of got unlucky, honestly. When DCE got dropped, he got really unlucky with Tommy Dearden shining like he did in the halfback role, because it kind of pushed him out of chance of getting the spot until Munster retired. I always felt like, no matter what, that my halves were, once Munster retires, it's Dearden and Walker. That was always how I viewed it personally, but and I think that right now how it's going kind of points them in that direction too, but only time will tell with it. But Sam Walker will fully solidify that, I think, as the outcome if he gets the job done for Queensland in this series. I 100% think that they'll move down that route of Sam Walker and Tom Dearden as the future halves for Queensland. Till then, though, we got Munster and Walker, baby! And Munster and Dearden. Heck yeah, legend! I can see you guys through the screen dancing with me, right, about this game, legends. It's just so epic. Jeez, I'm looking at my May schedule and it's just so busy from tonight onwards, isn't it? Oh, I hope nobody wants to hang with me. Not going to get much opportunity. Your best chance is probably going to be when I vlog Newcastle, and that's not going to be it. That's not going to be easy either. Because we got the 2 streams. We've got pretty much all streams plus a prediction video until the 31st, where it'll either be a vlog or we might get one stream out while editing a vlog. It's going to be insanely busy looking at it here. It's not going to be easy. That's sad to hear. Wishing all the best. All the best. If Billy's picking up for Pogger is playing the better footy. Exactly, John. That's why Pogger's in the team. That's why Pogger's in the team and Walsh isn't. Simple as that. People need to get it. I understand exactly why people want Walsh, but ultimately Billy's clearly going with who he thinks earned the spot, right? And if Pogger's playing better, he has arguably earned the spot, right? It adds up. It all makes great. It all makes sense. You got to pick your best players and your best spots. It's something Queensland in particular have to do. Anyways, legends, I'd say enough Origin talk, but let's face it, we'll get into more Origin talk during the stream, probably in the many streams to come throughout the week, especially as we get closer to it. But that's the end of the halftime show. Say hello with me to the second half. Dolphins with the kick here into the air, and on the 10, the Raiders will collect Dane Laurie with the pass here through the middle now. Yeah, Pogger well-deserved. 100% legend. Pogger well-deserved. And Canberra Raiders over to the left with Zach Hosking now. Hosking with it. Hosking into it. And we'll keep looking with it. Jaden Brayley now. Mowing down teams here from the line, gets the pass off. It seems like Brayley, despite being named at lock, is starting this half in a hookerish role. The last few tackles. No, Tom Starling is there as the hooker. It's just interesting. It seems like Brayley's kind of swapping between a lock and hooker kind of role. If he's there and Starling isn't, he's doing it. And it's a big kick here over to the right. Dolphins receive it for the first time in this second half. Trey Fuller into the line now. And with a big fire up there, he gets over to the 40 here. Jermaine Asako, a few little tippy toe steps here. He goes, ooh, whoop, 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 whoop. And down he goes on the ground here. Dolphins firing on up for this one here. Nafita Nafahu. He scored the first try of tonight. I believe I butchered his last name when he did, but he still got it. He still got it, legends. He still got it. And now to the right, we're going again to Asako. Bostock, Asako, they're claiming a Raider touched it, the Dolphins. The referee is going to give 6 more tackles. I think both touched it for forward plays. So for me personally, it should be double knock on. But the ref is going to instead rule played at, and it's going to be a full set for the Dolphins again here. John in the chat says, regarding good form, do you think Jackson Ford could have been considered at least a bench warmer role? I think at the least he should have been on the bench. I think Jackson Ford arguably should have been in the starting lineup. I think the Blues are severely mistaken not putting him in their lineup. And Donahue getting in the way of his forward there for a second, legends. But no, 100% John. 100% I think that's the case. Digging in here, Schneider over to the 10. I think Jackson Ford should have been one of the first names on the sheet, but, you know, to each their own, right? Laurie Daly, he's got the full idea of how the team's going to play. Big kick in the air to the right. Dolphins plenty of chase. Did Raiders knock that on in the goal? Shoulder, shoulder, knock on. They're actually saying Dolphins knock on. It was actually a very poor kick. Went quite deep into the... Yeah, it was a Raiders knock on, yeah. Went quite deep into the goal here. And here we go, legends. The Raiders with the dropout, and they're going to kick it long. Ray Stone with it there. Stone goes forward. Rumbling back here. Well, I always think it's exciting when new Origin players make the arena because it makes it more, or for me, it makes it more unique each series, you know, to have different players occasionally. For me, I always feel let down when they opt for players you've seen in that jersey before. Or at least when they opt for players when there's been a player that's been playing way better, you know? Selwyn Cobo is not playing tonight, TJC. Over to Katoa, now to Bostock. Instead, they got Defoe. Jack Bostock in insane form. Gets it off to Katoa, who kicks low for Plath. I think Plath may have been stopped. He didn't quite get there. Here we go. Schneider didn't quite get there, legends. Nothing for Schneider. We got no try for now. We just got to wait on Bradley Schneider. Hit the pause button on the stream. Don't do that. You'll be stuck in a free screen for the rest of the stream, so don't do that. Oh, I told you not to pause it. Oh, my God. Stop it. Stop. Oh. Okay, thank you. Thank you for stopping the pauses. They've got to make sure there's no touch from Brad Schneider. There's no touch from Schneider. Even if that touched Schneider, it wouldn't be fair on him for that not to be a dropout. So, yeah, it's a dropout, legends. The Dolphins win another bit of pressure on the Canberra Raiders here. Well, most of Raiders' shots have gone long. No short ones yet. And yet, another one that goes long. And here we come again. Ray Stone, fly on in! Boom! That's about as good as you can do! Chugga, chugga, choo, choo! Ray Stone, he had 30 run-outs. He flew on in. Took a big hit there. And then he lost the ball. He hyped them up. He said, I'm taking on the biggest. And he got sat down after it. What? What? Morgan Smithy's not happy with the ref, and a penalty's been given for it, and they're taking the 2. And they'll take a shot at penalty goal. I think that's a crazy call. Does anybody know what this is for? Because Ray Stone, that left Ray Stone's hands. For that? For that? For that? For that? Forget the dissent. That should have been in Raiders' favour anyways. That's insane. But Melbourne did like 10 of those against Para. All right, Osako to take the kick here. And he's got it. He's got it, and it's all good, the kick. So someone up top has said there was... The arm... It's a tackle. There's nothing in that. The ref sees that there's nothing in that. Don't worry, Mess in the screen. I agree with you. I agree with you. That is not a penalty. And here's a question, right? I understand that players need to get in trouble for disrespecting refs, and that dissent is never allowed. I understand that. But refs also, okay, hear me out here. We also have to be fair that it goes both ways. That's not on the referee necessarily, but whoever told the ref that was a penalty, I just like them to explain it, all right? Because the pressure there is nothing that isn't seen in 8 out of 10 tackles a game. I could probably in the next couple sets point out to you a moment that is exactly the same pressure on the player. Are they ruling pressure on the neck? Because for me personally, I don't think he's going bang into the neck for it personally. Weeks to Laurie. And it's Stewart now through the middle here. Laurie to Hosking now. Zach Hosking with it. Playing the play now. Savage, the Raiders up in it. Ethan. We go to the left. Beautiful pass from Sanders to Mariota. And down goes Mariota. Sanders. It's a beautiful kick in the air here. The Raiders got a good grab on that day. Laurie, plenty of Raiders chasing him down. Well, Laurie's knocked the ball on, so I'm not sure what the ref's looking at here. Let's wait and see. If the Dolphin grabs the arm of the Raider here, it would be a penalty. Knock on from the Raiders. Yeah, probably the right call there, but the call earlier wasn't the right call. John in the chat says, well, that was just as insane as the Cooks no try for the Dragons last week. Just as insane, legend. I don't know how that Cook try didn't stand. Justice for Damien Cook, by the way. Dreadful. And people got to understand, there is a difference between acknowledgement and accountability. They are taking acknowledgement, but there is no accountability as of yet for these calls that are costing momentum of games. There just isn't. There just isn't, legends. Sort of now for Schneider. To the left here. Oh, the Dolphins opening them up here. Plenty of galloping speed here. The Dolphins take it out of play. Massive moment for the Raiders. Massive moment. Team state of origin. Yeah, Ashley Clyde, mate. Let's see what bad calls he makes in that one. Just kidding. I wish the best for the reps, but Ashley Clyde is certainly a unique one. He was always competing anyway. Exactly, rugby fella. He was always competing anyway. Did you hear that, Ledge? It's probably not. Dane Laurie. Gus Gould just saying he recruited him at a very young age, legends, to the Penrith Panthers, when he got sent a YouTube mixtape of his highlights. He said it was the best highlights he'd ever seen from a player that he eventually went on to sign. Dane Laurie, legends, who forced the player out there. And Tarpany wins a penalty for a crusher tackle. Now, that's what you call an illegal tackle, ref. Well, bunker. Take the two? Are they going to take the two? They're pointing. Or are they going to go for the try? They're going to go for the try. I was going to say. You see that? They're taking the tap and they're going to the sideline now. And just look at them shifting. They got that eye in them, don't they? Over to the right here. The pressure is switched on now for them here. Only 10 minutes gone by in the second half here. Aratiota, Sanders, over to Tamale, down the left edge for the try. He can't get there. There's 5 Dolphins on him. Legend. He had 5 Dolphins to stop him. Ballstock taking his time getting off him. That might be 6 again. The ref says no. Still first tackle. Tarpany for Weeks here, running a week here. Can't get beyond the 10. Timoko to Sanders, to Starling, over to Laurie here, the highlight mixtaper, the highlight reeler, the YouTuber. Now to Starling, to Hosking, Zach Hosking. The streets will not forget the former Panthers season, right? Couple tackles remaining on this set here. Sanders to Laurie. Good pressure from Osako, but what was that from Canberra's fullback? What was that? What was that, Weeks? Somebody explain to me what that was from Weeks. Bro batted that like it was a volleyball. Bro wanted to play bouncy, but he wasn't in the castle for it. And we keep on pushing here. And you just got to keep having a look at this one here. 24-16, 5 apiece. They keep on going. This game is far from over here. We're 12 minutes into the second half. And so much pressure being built upon from both teams, legends. Only one game tonight as per usual on Thursday. Where it starts to get weird is tomorrow, Friday, only one. 2 on Saturday, legends, and 1 on the Sunday. Before we head over to have a break for 2 days, but technically not a break for TJC because Tuesday you'll get the Origin prediction video. It's a big kick from Bostock, racing down over to the 10-meter line now. Then you got Origin Game 1 on the Wednesday for streaming legends, as well as Origin Game 3 for the girls the following night. And a predictions video. We're going to pop off the next few days. Now on the 20. Now Jed Stewart with it. Unbelievable play there. In goes Jed. They just want to keep going with the set here near the 30-meter line. Laurie by himself. And Sanders now with a big kick. Kicks flat over to the 20 and now sprinting forward here for the Dolphins. Towering back over to the 40. And they just keep going. Katoa now to halfway. And Bostock. What a good play there. 45 meters. And they just keep pushing them back here. Damian Cook won last week was a try. That was a try. Everyone knows it. Trey Fuller, he knocks it on. Trey Fuller, and we got ourselves a ball for Canberra. Unfortunate for the Dolphins. They couldn't maintain possession of that one. Just comes up with the juggle. Was stepping before he got the ball. Tried to catch it with his hands, his ankles. Nothing could work for him, though. And now with the scrum play here. Coming off the field, legends, by the way. Number 15 for Canberra. Jordan Uta. Most known for playing for the Magpies, legends, in Western Sydney. Of course. The 20-year-old, born 2006. What a unit he is off the field. Now to Dane Laurie. In goes Laurie. Welcome to the big time here. He's officially on the field, legends. For those of you who got confused, I meant on the field, legend. He's on the field. The live score is on the screen, Yawaze, and it's 16-24. Weeks finds the pass here. Come on, pass it over to the big lad I've just hyped up. Pass it over to the big lad that I've just hyped up. Come on. No. Sanders, big kick in the air. Straight down the middle of the park here. It's allowed to bounce. Hosking! It had to be hit out by the Dolphins. You'll get some joy there out of that one. The Raiders all over it. Chasing kicks, competing, always competing, the Raiders. Xavier Savage, he's a player that hasn't received much ball tonight, but I also think part of that's that they don't know where the heck he's playing. Short but long here from the Dolphins. And Tamale, in he goes. Well, a try here for the Raiders would certainly put them on notice. Yeah, it's still 2-0 in the second half. All the points have come from the first when it comes to tries. They are a connected group, the Canberra Raiders, a real family club, you could say. Off from Sanders. Oh, misses the mark with Tamale, and out it goes. A mid dropout. That's probably the best way to put it, rugby fella. It was a mid dropout, but that mid dropout amounted to nothing. Canberra Raiders just letting this one fly on out of play there. Say bye-bye to it. Anybody for bye-bye birdie? We just keep on moving with it, don't we, legends? Back through the right. That's a good tackle there. Fitoaki on the ground now. John Aneta had his history with the Parramatta Eels because he was, of course, Legends, by the way, also made a prelim in the juniors with them. Here we go, Weeks. Oh, hello, Sunshine. He finds the break on the right here to the 30. And Donahue with a crucial ankle tap on him there. Blaine Doggy says Raiders win. He's calling it now, Legends. Raiders win. If you want the Raiders to come back, Legends, or even if you want the Dolphins to hold on, depends which fan base does it more. You got to hit that like button and subscribe. Now over to the left, Laurie finds his way over to our boy here, number 15, Jordan Uta. He's held on the halfway. Smithies to Tarpane. Tarpane offloads over to Smithies. Smithies through the middle. Looking dangerous here, starting to get his shoelaces crossed here. Sanders. Oh, he took the... he didn't want to go, Laurie. It's an obstruction call. Unfortunate there for Dane Laurie. And a great run from Kayo Weeks, unfortunately, ends up with nothing because of a mistake. Brianna in the chat says, hey. Hey, Brianna, welcome to the stream, legend. Well, it was a bit of great work from Bostock and Osaka. They saw the play, and it works out for them in the end. They've got that penalty. We get to carry on in this game. Multiple chances in the last 5 minutes, and they couldn't get it. Oren Kelly playing the ball. Marshall King over to the left here. It's a dummy here. Schneider through. Brad Schneider takes the tackle on the 20. Dane... Did you hear that? He wanted Dane to make the 10-meter line. Dane didn't. Katoa. Yeah, there is, Brianna. Always happens around State of Origin to avoid the amount of teams that... During State of Origin, there is always a lot less teams that play. State of Origin is the pinnacle of rugby league, so... Well, one of the pinnacles. World Cup's pretty high up there too. Can't wait for the World Cup streams, Legends. Can't forget that. Tamale. Canberra keep on pushing forward now. That's a huge kick from the Raiders over to the left now. It keeps on bouncing here. It's a good kick, isn't it? And the Dolphins, Triapula. And I'd say all they need is an error from the Dolphins, but they've been given about 10. Just haven't taken advantage. Kind of like Souths last week, only South Sydney last week really didn't even earn those errors, did they? They just kind of were unforced. At least Raiders could argue that they've had to fight them into their game. It's been a conveyor belt of outside backs hitting one after the other. It's my second favourite team, Super League team, is St. Helens. I think a lot of people who, especially Aussie fans, have a soft spot for St. Helens. Big kick in the air over to the right. Tamale asking the questions, and he gets hit hard there by the Dolphins. Number one and a number one and a number one. He's held. They keep pushing him. Oh, Sanders, I don't think he knew where he was going there. And they're going to just push down to the 10. I'm happy. We're all happy for him. Oh, big play. And down goes Canberra. Tom Starling now with the chance to run around the right here. Ponu in 18 with the play. Keeps going. Marshall King with it. And it's a huge kick over to the right. And it's a good whack of the ball, but the Dolphins have it here. 17 minutes, 50 on the clock, still to go, legends. And we are yet to see a try in the second half. What is with tries disappearing in the second half? Either it's non-stop scoring or tries just disappear by this point in the game. I don't know what causes it. I just don't know what causes it. It's not a Hooper Schneider. I think that's a Dolphins error. The referee says yes, sirree. And they don't have a challenge up their sleeve. He's a great player. Some great players in this lineup tonight, even with Origin playing an effect here. I think both teams here relieved to have a bit of a reset there. Corey Horsburgh, the big red, in he goes. He's already got a try tonight. Gets to halfway. Starling to Mariota. Tarpany now. Joseph Tarpany moves around. Tarpany down. Mariota. Oh. So shout to Jordan Uta. First Raider to make an NRL debut this season here. Jordan Uta on the ground. Number 15 just took a tackle. And he's going to take another play. No, Horsburgh holds it here. Fifth tackle coming up now, legends. They're on the Dolphins 10 here. A try now would go a long way. It's a low kick here. And thank God they've got a fullback there to save the day, Trey Fuller. Otherwise, they were done for. And now the Dolphins will do the dropout. Will it be a long dropout, a short dropout, or as labeled by Rugby Fella in the chat, will it be a mid dropout? Because mid dropouts seem to be a thing, according to the Dolphins. The ultimate mid drop given before. Just be relieved that it's a mid drop out and not a mid drop off. They're going with it made it past 20. Yeah, it's another. I'd say that's a mid short. We're going to call that a mid short drop out there from the Dolphins. Zach Hosking now with it into the middle here. A sudden but welcomed 6 again, which means they're going to get that extra tackle in the set, the Canberra Raiders. Dolphins just getting their line together. It's short to Jordan Uta. And Jordan Uta pushed back. And now Mariota tries his luck. Starling, Sanders, wipe out to Laurie, finds Savage, Stewart into the right here. Stewart with it here. They've reassembled on that side of the ground. They've cut them off. Tarpany pushing them here. So much talent. Both teams playing the afraid to lose instead of the want to win footy. True, mate. True, but hey, nonetheless, it's a good effort. Oh, knock on Dolphins. Try for Raiders. Zach Hosking scores. Game back on. They're on it. And the milk's not done yet. 14 minutes, 22 still on the clock. Probably around 13 and a bit once we get back on with the game here, legends. It's 20 points with a kick to come. That too, though, from a really weird call, will end up crucial in this game, I reckon. It should be 22 all in all reality, in all seriousness. And enough of the afraid to lose footy. We need the want to win footy from here on in. Not much time left. There is time, no doubt about that. It's not like they don't have the opportunity, but they're really going to have to go searching for it. They're going to have to really want it. They're going to have their fingers crossed. They're going to have their eyes on the prize, as one would love to say, legends, as one would love to see. So Zach Hosking has scored a vital try here as Canberra are desperate for their moment in the sunshine. Should be back within a couple of points here. And that's a great play there, Canberra. Raiders were coming for you, Dolphins. Yeah, they're coming. They're coming. And they're coming firm, legends. I don't think you can understand all the directions that the Raiders are coming from after the Dolphins right now. They're coming everywhere. They're onto them. And they're not going to stop until they've caught up to them and firmly taken their eyes on the prize. Snatch it and leave. 2 points the difference. A thrilling finale coming up here. Canberra Raiders, Corey Horsmaid to the line. Gets to the 10 now. And the Raiders will feel really hard done by if that penalty kick ends up being the deciding factor of everything here, legends. Yeah, there's still a 2-point field goal in play at the moment. Technically, they could win it if they got a 3-point penalty field goal, right? Technically, but they need to play a bit of luck with it. Laurie loses it. Play on. Dolphins get the ball here. So unfortunate for the Raiders there. So unanswered from Laurie. And the Dolphins on the right. Pushing through. And just the loose... mate, what a loose carry. That is so poorly timed for Raiders with the momentum they were finally getting themselves into here. And now here's the run. He's got an offload in his game, Oren Keeley, but Big Red's got him. Third tackle. Of course, we're all talking about next Wednesday. We have Origin Legends Game 1 for the guys, but shout out to the girls, Game 3. Queensland, desperate not to lose 3 in a row. Let's go, you Maroons. Firing the ball back here. Plaff over to the 10. Maintaining possession. Katoa puts a big kick in the air. Dolphins and Raiders. Raiders get the ball, and it's going to be a dropout. Jump from the field, and it's going to be a dropout. Yeah, good take. Good take from the Raiders there. And they've got some great pieces of defense in their game, Canberra. But the Dolphins right now just got half a dozen. Instead of some. And Raiders another big kick again here. This one's going a mile an hour here. Over to the 40 of Dolphins' end now, legends. And here they go. 10 on the clock, or 10 minutes, 35 to go technically. As Oren Keeley picks up an easy 20 meters into the line. Short pass once again here. Honestly, this game, man, it's so good. Don't you just love rugby league, legends? Come on. Let's be honest here. Who doesn't love a bit of rugby league? When you've been out for the last few weeks, and the last game that you properly watched was Melbourne and Para, like, come on. And Matt, here we go! Through the middle, Schneider! 1, 2, and that's the winner! You heard those bangs? That's how many bangs they just took there. The Dolphins make it 28-22, and I'd be praying for an awful kick from Masako if I were the Raiders, or at the very least, a short kickoff to work out for Canberra, because this is just dreadful. Yes, yes, the Eels can beat Knights next week. Legend, of course they can. I'll be going to that game. Can't wait for it. Going to be one heck of a vlog. Oh my God. What a pass there. I think it was Isaiah Katoa linking up with his halves partner nicely there. Brad Schneider stepping around them all here. Of course, for those of you who are trying to remember Brad Schneider, I'm not talking about the American politician like Google says. I'm talking about the 25-year-old half who played 12 games for the Raiders, actually, where he got a try. Moved over to Super League for around halfway through the 23 season after a bit with Raiders, where he then went on to sign with the Penrith Panthers as a backup. He overall, in just 2 years, managed to play 32 games for them. What a time it was. I believe he was part of the squad that won the 24 premiership before, of course, they didn't win in 25. Now with the Dolphins in 26, points to be proven. He's done a great play there for a try. And that might be his first for the Dolphins. No, yes, it is. It is 7th NRL game for them. Six days out from a rivalry that stops the nation legends. It's Blues versus Maroons, New South Wales versus Queensland, Cockroaches versus Cane Toads. It is the definition of an all-out blood brawl. Do not miss it. State of Origin Game 1, Wednesday and Thursday streams live on the channel. It's going to be epic. Dylan Brown Cup next week, mate. I can't wait to play Dylan Brown next week. I love Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown is still one of my all-time eels. I love him, man. I absolutely adore Dill Bags, and I look forward to getting to watch him live again. I hope he has an exceptional time. What do we got? We got 8 minutes to go, legends. No chance to go beg it. The Fids might fancy their chances to hold off the Raiders. They might, John. So Corey Horsburgh gets on into the attack for a little bit of magic. I think Sanders. The dazzling pace of Kayo Weeks on full display there. Gets on back here. Sanders. Down to Brayley. Gets it to Tarpanay here. Tarpanay playing on. Tarpanay thinks about an offload. Doesn't opt for it, though. Back he goes. 11 meters away. Starling. Sanders. And he gets hit hard there by his opponents. Into play Hughes. 7 minutes left here. Fourth tackle. Matthew Tomoko now. And Tomoko are too many jumpers in at that time, legends. Starling. Sanders with a big kick. Savage bats it back here. Raiders. Stewart kicks low. He's taken out. The ref says it's fine. That's a penalty. Good call. Good call from the ref. He does. He took out Stewart. He did take out Stewart there. 100% he did. They close in the moment he kicks it. Watch it. Yeah. They see him kick it and they close into him. I accept that as a penalty. And the Raiders keep the pressure coming. And Corey Horsburgh, they've got to score here, the Raiders. 6 minutes on the clock here. Starling over to the middle with Brayley. It's a good short pass here. Mariota with a beautiful organised run. Sanders comes across for Laurie. Well, they've lost their momentum. Laurie tackled by Francis Molo. Joe Tarpanay now. Tarpanay, an unusual run into the line. Hurries to his feet here. Plays the ball through. Sanders with a low kick. Out it goes. And it's too deep. By some margin too. And it looks like we've got a challenge coming up from the Raiders because they've got nothing to lose and giving it a go. But the on-field ruling, legends, is 20-meter restart. Ooh. There's no touch. Just going to see the run of Jack Bostock and Matt Tomoko. The fans are going to be so angry after this. Oh, the Raiders fans are going to be so angry with that. Probably the right call, but you just know the fans are going to be furious. No obstruction. 5.5. Canberra would have to find something pretty special to win it now. Jermaine Asako. Now to Marshall King with Molo. Through the middle now, Molo. Plus Herbie. Of course, Herbie ruled out, legends. Can you believe that? Last minute change. If they had Herbie, I'm scared for the Dolphins. And Horsburgh is furious that a challenge. How on earth they've given a penalty there? Raiders will be furious. Oh my God. They keep going over to the left now with the 40. The Dolphins now with it here. Apparently someone put $4,000 on Buddy Horsburgh to score. Good on him. Jeez. Now to the right. Offloads now. Finds Marshall King now with Katoa. Attacks the defense. Sanders with the tackle. 10 meters away now. Marshall King to Molo. Molo keeps pushing forward now, and Molo will get him back on the ground here. Just 2 left. Marshall King for whatever. For whatever, I'm going to call him. For whatever. Finds the play to the right. Stoney boy. Katoa. Trey Fuller. Trey around. Trey up with it. Trey for the winner. Wouldn't really be a winner, but oh my God, he somehow passed it. He's held. He's held. No matter what he does, he's held. And the Dolphins will give the ball to the Raiders. It's improbable, but it's still statistically possible for the Raiders if they were to score in the next minute, somehow running the whole field. Be a bit of a miracle, but it's statistically possible. It's just improbable. Penalty. That's just what the Raiders needed. Ooh. Descent, legends. Wait. It's a penalty against Raiders for descent. Again for descent. Canberra, what are you doing? What are you doing, Canberra? Flops. The bloody traps. Frauds. The lot of you. Frauds, Canberra. The biggest frauds I've ever seen. It doesn't get more fraudulent. Lucky days for them, they get it back, but it won't matter. Well, it's a genuine Hail Mary. Weeks bangs are kicked out. It hits the right hand and out. Dolphins get the ball. But it's a 20-40. Wait, but it's lucky days for them. It's a 20-40, the Raiders. I don't know if you legends know that. It's not used enough in our game, but 20-40. It goes to the 40 from behind the 20. And Canberra give themselves a bit of a Hail Mary here, hosking through the middle. They refuse to give up. They genuinely might have to skip the kick. They might have to skip the kick if they score for a chance at winning. Really? Sanders now through the left here. Yeah, I think they're going to have to skip the kick, legends. A minute to go if they scored. Weeks. Nice movement of the ball here through the Raiders. Brew Laurie to Savage. It's covered up here. And yep, that's there we go. We saw a 20-40, the legends. How good. We finally saw a 20-40. A number of star players out here, and the Dolphins have somehow managed. and they're going to come away from Canberra with 2 premiership points, a task never easy for any team to do. And for the Raiders, their poor record at home will continue from here. The last time we saw a 2040, the Cheese kicked it. That's pretty crazy to think about with how the Cheese has been out so much, legend. I've got the winning feeling. There we go. And that is a club win. That is how you do it. People come in for the stars, the rep players, but those are the wins you want for the club, the ones where the star and rep players are out. The Dolphins showing just why they should be on the top of everybody's list for possibly a new team in finals to make it for their history, legends. The Dolphins have just won despite having, I think it's like 6 players out, legends. Herbie Barnworth, Cody Nikorima, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, Selwyn Cobbo, and Max Plaff, as well as Thomas Flegler. Yep, 6 players, legends. Absolutely insane, the performance from them to be able to get over the line and get this result here tonight, legends. I hope you all enjoyed this first stream of the week, legends. You got 4 more to come over the next coming days. I hope to see most of you back for those ones, guys. Tomorrow we have the Bulldogs and the Melbourne Storm, and the scary thing for the Doggies, the scary thing for the Doggies is their current form, and the fact that they're even with a full strength side considered a concern versus the Storm. An interesting change that they've made last minute, legends, not last minute, but the day before, in a bit of hype for you guys, is Jacob Carras has shifted to fullback with Rinakama on the wing. Curious to see how that ends up turning out. That's an interesting change there from the initial named lineup a day before the game, legends. I wonder if that'll become important here. Carras, of course, for the World Cup, a favourite to be potentially fullback for Lebanon, legends. Should be in for a big game between the Storm and the Bulldogs. It feels so wrong that that is 13th versus 14th because, I mean, it's the Melbourne Storm, right? And the Doggies also were such a hype team heading into this year. Should be a great stream, though. You won't want to miss it, legends, just like you don't want to miss the Origin streams on Wednesday and Thursday. Like the stream, subscribe if you're new with the little notification bell to be notified of every time we upload, and I will see you guys tomorrow.